What's up, guys? Jeff from California Carb Works, and I'm having a terrible time at the beach right now. Terrible time. That's not true. You can't have a terrible time at the beach unless you get sunburned. Anyway, so somebody asked me an interesting question the other day. What was the hardest set of carburetors you've ever worked on? Well, it's interesting because the perception, because you hear the stories, oh, those carbs are terrible. Oh, the perception and actually doing it are two different things. For instance, Honda Magna, like 80s Honda Magna carbs. Boy, when I got my first set of those, I was like lost. But now I realize they're actually pretty darn easy. They do have some weaknesses to them. There's a join pipe in the middle of them that you need to change. I didn't know that first time around. Those leak. But other than that, once you understand them, not really a big deal. Now, here's the answer to the question. What is the hardest set of carbs I've ever worked on? Honda CBX. And I think that's probably by a mile, because the reason being, those of you that have worked on them, you'll know this, but there was a big change, not just in carburetors, there was a big change in the way Japanese motorcycles were designed and built from, say, 1981 to 1985. That's only 4 years, but if you work on bikes from that era, 81, 82 stuff and 85, 86 stuff, so different, and for the better, improvement, definitely better. So the Honda CBX carbs, basically what they are 6 carbs that are similar to the 4 that they have on the CB 750s and 900s, like the late 70s bikes. And even, I want to say I've worked on a single cylinder bike that had that carb, but I'm not sure. I can't remember if the Honda Ascot had a version of that carb. I don't think it did. It might have. Anyway, those carbs, especially when you're trying to put a jet kit on them, are an absolute, they're just difficult. There's a learning curve to it. Yeah, I can do them now and hold my own, but there's a specialized guy on the internet that does them. If I ever had another CBX, I would just send them to him. A lot of finicky, fiddly, weird stuff with them. Not because they came off a CBX, but just basically because of the carb they are. That Honda, I believe that's a Kian, with the big slide in it. Not my favorite. Not even working on 2 of them, but then you times that by 3, and you've got 6 of them you're working on, and then syncing them, and then getting them back on the bike. Boy, they are work, guys. But reach out, drop me a comment. Let me know what carbs you're working on right now, or what your most difficult carburetors were. I'd love to hear that, and yeah, let's chat about it. All right, guys, thanks for watching.